Shalom, shalom. It's the brother Hadab. Y'all from GMS Bull Bear, Alabama camp. Coming at you with another lesson. But before I get started, I want to give all glory, praise, and honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and salutation to the whole field elect that scattered abroad, preaching the truth, sincerity to you. I'm going to say shalom. And as you can see on this video right here going into sundown town in Alabama, which these women, are about to speak on their experience of being in the sundown town. But for years, okay, the apostles and the elders, bishops, been out on the highways and byways, warning the people of the things to come, and serve the Lord with fear and trembling, through his laws, statutes, and commandments. And people just act like, it's another group that's pushing Christianity. But this one right here, it pushes hate along with it. All right, so they don't turn the ear to the Lord's word. But I'm gonna get into the video and I'm gonna break out some precepts. Lord willing, this video be edifying.
This is my sister Pam and we on here to talk about something that happened to us coming home from Atlanta, Georgia, this past weekend. Okay, so I want to start because we're a little nervous talking about this, and what I mean by that, because we still kind of shook up for the fact that it happened to us and we wasn't expecting this. Okay, well, I'm gonna go all the way back to when we was in Atlanta this weekend. My niece's birthday was Saturday. And we went to celebrate her birthday in Atlanta, Georgia. We had a marvelous time. As a matter of fact, we had a great time.
Yes, Atlanta was good to us.
It was good. We went to the aquarium. We went to, what was that, cake and what else?
Cake and sip.
Cake and sip. And then we went, I don't know.
Sugar factory of Atlanta.
Yeah, the sugar factory. Okay, but anyway, we're just trying to tell the happy part first, because the other part is going to get, it's going to get wild. So anyway.
And, that's why people, they make mistakes at, birthday parties. So you went to worship your niece, shower her, cater to her, okay, and shower her with gifts and this and that, laying out the red carpet, so to speak. Okay, you glorifying your niece when the first commandment is that thou shalt not, that we shouldn't have no other gods before Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Okay, and birthdays, that's an idol. Okay, when you celebrate your birthday, that is self-idolatry. All right, that is self-worship. And people be going to the extent telling me, oh, it's my birthday week and it's my birthday month, and they be want to party the whole month or the whole week, as you can see. Okay, and if y'all wasn't into that, then you wouldn't have been in this situation that you experienced on your way back to Tulsa, Alabama. I guess that's where you're from. But I want to bring out this precept. It's Leviticus chapter 26, verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven images, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down into it, for I am the Lord Yahweh your power. Okay, and back then our people, they've been creating idols to worship when they experienced the power of the true living God, which is Yahweh. Okay, Yahweh gave Moses the commandments and told them to take it down to Israel. Okay, the children that was in the wilderness, man. So we have law, statutes, and commandments. We have high holy days that we supposed to worship, in the Lord with, man. Not the things that's set on high here in America, holidays and birthdays and stuff like that, man. So for one, you went off right there. But okay.
Hey, we enjoyed ourselves. We had a good time, and so Sunday come. We had breakfast. We had a marvelous time, and so we loading up to get ready to go back
Girl just want to have fun, right?
home. And the time that we left was it like 4 something? Okay, so we left like 5
Actually
or 6
around
something.
5:36, which we should have gotten on the road.
Yeah.
Really, it's always good to ride daytime, especially ladies.
Yeah, kind of put your face.
I would say that it's best to ride daytime.
Yeah.
Camera shy when it comes to talking like this.
Especially ladies. So that's the reason why we're trying to put you where at a narrative where we're trying to show you that it is very important to if women's. I mean, although we had other people with us, we had our sons with us and my little niece, of course, it was her birthday. But if you're gonna leave at an earlier time, please do, because what we're getting to is these sundown towns. And now, I guess I'm finna go into that part now. Okay, so.
All right, this is on the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 9 and 10. It reads, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come." All right, and the point is, you careless women that are at ease. Okay, you got your hair done. You had a good time. And like she mentioned, Atlanta don't owe them nothing. Atlanta been good to them. All right, but they are not circumspect. They don't understand that we're in the last days. All right.
We leave around, I guess, like 5-ish or whatever, maybe 6. And then so the GPS was telling us we would probably make it home like 11 something or whatever, maybe 12 midnight. So anyway, we make it. We stop at Buc-ee's, grab a few things. That kind of throwed us back a little bit. So of course then our arrival time was at 1-ish or whatever. So my mom called us around the time, I think it was like close to 10 o'clock. No.
Not quite.
It was like 8-ish. It was 8. But anyway, my mom called. She called my phone because she knew Pam was driving.
Using a GPS.
Using her GPS. So she called my phone. And so we got off into the conversation because she was trying to find out what time we was going to make it home. And so we told her what time we'd probably make it home, give or take. We told her that we had stopped and da-da-da-da. So, anyway, at the time that she was calling us, we was in a conversation with her. We accidentally passed Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And I think I said the word right. But
Our turn.
we missed our turn. So Pam was like, "Oh boy, we missed the turn." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, we did. And more than likely, we're getting ready to get on some
Back road.
the back roads."
So and
And
that's
so
where the GPS.
So
took
she
us.
was like, the GPS is guiding me this way, so I'll see what's what. Well, anyway, it took us to a town called, and we wasn't paying any attention. And don't get me wrong, I'm very aware of sundown towns thanks to TikTok. If it had not been for TikTok, and how we can relate to each other and warn each other about certain things, I probably would have never known about these towns. But anyway, thank God for TikTok for that purpose. So anyway, we ended up taking this town called, the GPS was taking us through the back road of this town called, what was that?
Sundown.
No, we not forgetting the town, Pam. It's called
It's with a V, ain't it?
no, it's that same town. It's like one of them in Georgia. What's the name
No,
of
it's
it?
in Texas.
Yeah, okay, that Texas Jasper.
Jasper.
But this one, that we was not in Jasper, Texas. Okay, let's get that clear.
Jasper,
It's Jasper, Alabama. I never heard of Jasper, Alabama. I knew about Jasper, Texas. So I'm over there writing because I was just doing my thing to kind of keep my mind, going as we drive. And so she's driving and we talking and my niece back here playing our music. My nephew was in the back asleep. He was laid back on the third row seat. And my son, he was just a young man in his business, looking at his, videos and stuff, whatever. But anyway, we get through this town, and so it's taking us on these back roads. Okay, so we notice this big white truck behind us. We didn't think anything of it at first, but the truck was so big, and that's fine. But this truck kept driving behind us, as if we were going too slow. So I'm thinking to myself, and I didn't know she was thinking to herself until we talked later, and about that incident that happened. So I'm noticing that he's driving aggressively behind us, real close. But
he had all the opportunity to go around.
To go around us. Cut the air because I'm getting a little hot. He had all the opportunity in the world to go around us several times, not one time. Like he could have went around us. He had the opportunity to go around us probably more than 7 times, 10 times. But he did not. He stayed behind us, driving extremely close to us, aggressively. So she was realizing that at the same time I was realizing it. But we didn't say anything about it. Then the GPS told us to take a left turn. We drove on that road for about 10 minutes, give or take. And so when we came off that road, we was thinking, okay, well, this man just not going to pass us. He just on our butt like this. And remind you, we was the only 2 on the road. Here and there, some other cars had passed through, but we was the only 2 on the road. So when the GPS told us to make the left turn, it's this other car. Well, I noticed this other car from around the corner or somewhere just drove real quick around behind this big white truck. But when the truck got ready to, when we got ready to take the left exit, this truck, my sister taking the left exit. That's not going on my finger. But anyway, she was taking that left exit. He did not have his signal light on at all. It's like he was trying to see which way we were going. So when she made the left turn, when she went over the road and went to where the GPS was taking her, he was right on us. He did not stop. He did not turn our signal light on. He was just with us. He was keeping up with us. So this other car that was on the side over there, he just looped. I assume it was a he, and I'm rather sure it was. So I'm gonna say he came and looped behind him. And so then that's when my sister started saying something ain't right. I said, yeah, I've been noticing it. And then so she was like, call 911. She was like, call 911, call 911. And then my niece started saying, oh, come on, y'all, calm down. You kind of exaggerate. But she was thinking that we was, getting too hyped over the situation, but we kind of knew what time it was. We was on the, thank God for discernment. So anyway, we was driving on down the road. We noticed that road was getting darker and darker, and it was a 2-way road too, like 2-lane road too. But those back roads are very dangerous. So anyway, she was like, okay, I'm gonna turn off. And at the time that she was telling me to call 911, I don't know, I just couldn't figure out how to. It's just like God had took my, it's just like I had became dumb, because I did not know, pretty much, like I'm gonna say, it's just like I didn't even know how to call 911, which was a good thing, because I'm getting to it, so don't judge me. So okay, this is what my sister was like, call 911. And I was like, okay, so you want me to call 911? I don't know why I said that. And then I looked at my phone because I had my phone in my hand. I'm looking at it, and then I say, then I turn around and say, I said something, and then she was like, I said, no, I said, you want me to call 911? She said, I don't know. And then I said, well, I don't know what to do. And I took the phone, put it down, which I really could have called 911 and said, hey, we in this town, da da da. And then finally I said, what town we in? Because, I really wasn't paying attention to the town. And I was like, what town are we in? And she was like, Jasper, Alabama. I said, let me check the history of this town. So I'm on my phone Googling, trying to see what the history was. And I asked Google, was Jasper, Alabama a sundown town? And it said yes. And I was like, I said, Pam, get us out of this town.
That was surprising.
I said, this is sundown town, get us out of town. Because when sundown means you cannot be in the town when the sun go down. So I knew that. And so, but my niece was like, oh, y'all exaggerating, just calm down. I'm going to call my dad. She was back there so important. Okay.
And see, that's how our people are, man. They refuse to receive information. Okay, they always blowing something off like it's a light thing, man, which is not. This is Proverbs 1, starting at verse 20. It say, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the opening of the gates, in the city she uttered her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. But you, Salakia, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Okay, and that wisdom that being cried out in the street, okay, are the Lord's prophets. Okay, the Lord's mouthpiece, telling you that these so-called white people are not right, man. They have a perpetual hatred for you. And these Klansmen, okay, they're are everywhere, man. They're your citizens. They're on your police force. They're your judges. They're your lawyers. You can't escape them unless you have the Lord with you, man. But it say, because I have called and ye refuse, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel and will none of my reproof. And that what her niece was doing. Well, with them, the niece was making it as a light thing. So she ain't describe her age or anything. But it's a lot of our young brothers and sisters end up, unalived by the hands of the enemy, by the hands of a so-called white person, man. Whether they're hung or ravished and unalived or what, man. But people just don't come up mysteriously unalive. And then if the person was lynched, they'll say that they'll rule it out as it was a suicide, which it was a guy recently they got lynched, and they said that he had broken limbs. So how can you break your legs and whatever else was broke, your hip or your arm or whatever, and then you get up there and hang yourself, man? They're just these people covering up these people actions, man. Okay, but it will be a civil unrest in the streets very soon, man. And that's what these people are pushing. Okay, these people want to take y'all off the face of the map. Okay, because they are Confederate against us, man. Okay, them and the rest of the heathens, the so-called Chinese, Japanese, Arab. These people don't like us, man. They don't like us, and they came together with the so-called white man to get rid of us, man. Okay, we're the most hated nation on the earth. The Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Seminole Indians, man. All right, we are the most hated, man. But it say, I also, verse 26, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh, when your fear come as a desolation and your destruction coming as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you. Then shall they cry upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord Yahweh. Right, man? Hey, seek the Lord now while he may be found, man. Okay, turn off your from your wicked ways and kiss the Son, lest he be angry, man. Offend less. Try to live the righteous path, not the American life that our parents and grandparents then raised us up on, and even the crap you see on TV, man. You know, that American pie, that lifestyle. You know, get rid of that, man, and live the life that the Lord has purpose for you, man. Then you wouldn't run into these situations like this, or if you did, you will be saved, you know, by the Lord. Okay, you will be delivered out of these situations, man. As long as you choose to trust in the Lord, man, and fear the Lord, serve the Lord with fear and trembling, man. Okay, because the Lord have his people, his elect. Okay, we are all going to go through some type of hell, some form of hell. I mean, great tribulations. But the Lord is going to have his elect covered. Okay, he's going to have them protected, man.
I'm gonna leave her alone.
Get out my
But anyway, she was like, y'all just, but she didn't know the extent to it. So that's the reason why we're making this video, because a lot of these younger people don't understand the extent to a sundown town. And that's the reason why we, you know, they probably not paying attention to like we probably would. But that's not it. I did some research, and yes, I did find out a few people, and y'all can go check this out too, have mysteriously came up dead in this town, in Jasper, Alabama. And the case that gets me the most is we found that out when we got out of there, because I kept looking. It was this Chastity lady, and the last stop that she was at was in some truck stop or something that was in Jasper, Alabama. And she came up missing. I think she's missing to this day. I may have to go back and read that. And so I asked, then they, in the news, I don't even believe the newspaper article, the way it's reading, but I get back to that because I'm finna hop back to the conversation that I was on in the beginning. Okay, so I could never figure out how to call the police. So, like I said, I was like, when I started searching the history of it, then I was like paying, and so by that time, she decided she was gonna try to trick this man by turning real quick while turning on her signal light. But she realized that if she had done that, he would have hit her straight from the back. So I was like, I said, so you really, I said, you must be trying to turn. She was like, yeah, I was trying to turn. And then she was like, but he would have hit us from the back. He still, no matter what, no cars coming on the other side, he still went past us. It's like he was trying to push us on further down the road. And I noticed that she was picking up her speed too fast, like 65, 70. That was too fast to me on that road, because you never know if another car coming on the other side passing, or, you know, you just never know going around those curves. So it's best to drive safely around those type of curves and on those type of roads.
When you in for your life.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that part, and that's what I was saying.
I had to follow my intent.
Exactly. So, but what I was okay, hello everyone. This is my sister.
Damn.
Skin color. They don't have that history. And I know that this is taught to people, but people should think about that. You shouldn't, we was trying to enjoy our life. People are trying to live their life. They're not trying to go somewhere and be unalive, or, you know, because of their skin color. That is the worst thing that anybody can do, and that is the worst death somebody can die. I have no control over my skin color. Talk to God about that. because God is the one that created us all. So if you have a problem with someone's skin color and you praying to God and you going to church, I want to know. I'm picturing this man in my mind. I'm just thinking he's a little fat slob or something like that. That was.
And see, that's where you got it wrong at. That's where a lot of people got it wrong at, man, because it's not about your skin color. Okay, these people hate us because we received the ultimate blessing, okay, which is inheriting the kingdom, okay, inheriting the kingdom, the everlasting kingdom where we shall not die, but we shall live forever, and have spiritual powers and things like this, man. Explore the whole universe, man. Okay, that was supposed to have been the so-called white man's blessing, but our forefather Jacob supplanted his father Isaac into giving him the ultimate blessing, man. It's not about the skin color. This is back in Genesis. This is 27 and verse 41. And I made a mistake and messed up the whole video, but the video was a 30-minute video, man. And I wasn't planning on sitting through that whole thing because I didn't want this to be long. But the purpose of this video is, okay, they had Edomites in behind them. Okay, the people that was in the white truck, then the car that had made a U-turn and got behind the white truck, and then the sheriff, he was in on it. Okay, because she didn't call the police, but somehow he was in the same area. So when they panicked and bust the right turn into a service station, okay, both of the cars, they went their separate ways, but the sheriff turned in behind them as if he was looking for somebody. So the sheriff was there to cover up the murder scene, if you may. The sheriff was there to give the reporters something, some type of information, some type of in case if they wanted to put it on your Channel 10 news or whatever. But like I was stating, these people, the white hooded people, okay, they're your school teachers, they're your police, your sheriff, your judges, your lawyers, your Congress, your president, all right, your mayors. They are everything, man, and they wear these hoods to hide their faces, man. Okay, but this is Genesis chapter 27, and I'm gonna start at verse. Okay, I'm starting at verse 36. It say, okay, this is when Esau and Jacob, okay, they was brothers. They were twin brothers. One was a albino, and which is Esau, which kept putting his seed, planting his seed and other other people or whatever that came out to be completely pink as they are. And Jacob, he was a so-called black man. But their father Isaac gave them a blessing. Okay, he had a blessing for them. And Jacob, the so-called black man, he supplanted their father Isaac, okay, to receiving the ultimate blessing from Esau, because Esau, he was supposed to got that blessing, but because the your first son, they get the blessing, but the Lord ain't want that, so the Lord gave it to Jacob. But verse 36, it said, and he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. Right? Jacob tricked Esau. Well, he ain't tricked Esau into doing nothing because Esau had sold his birthright. So-called white man sold his birthright because he was hungry and Jacob was cooking and he couldn't, wait till the food get finished. So Jacob told him to sell him that day his birthright. And that's what he did. That's why these so-called white people, they love raw meat to this day. Okay, it say he took away my birthright. No, see, that's a lie. You sold your birthright for some food because you ain't find no favor in your birthright. It say, and behold, now he have taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? So now Esau asking, his father Jacob, do you have a blessing for me? Because Jacob, he took the ultimate blessing. Do you have any blessing left for me? Verse 37, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Right, so Jacob got the ultimate blessing. Verse 38 is saying, Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Esau cried, kicking and screaming, throwing a fit, man. Verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off of thy neck. So this is Esau's kingdom right here. Okay, Esau got the fatness of the land. He got all the beautiful spots. Okay, and he heapeth all nations unto himself. So Esau is in rulership right now. And then the scriptures also state that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, which is Esau Edom. Okay, he's that wicked man. Okay. But this is his blessing, and by thy sword shalt thou live. Okay, don't America have the strongest military? I mean, the Russians are Edomites also, but they have these militaries and stuff, man. These strong militaries, and they fighting against each other and other nations and other countries and stuff, man. And these cops, even these six pack, 6-pack Joe Edomites, man. They love their guns. They have a collection of guns. All right, back then, this sword is a killing instrument, whether it's a literal sword or a knife or a tomahawk, or axe, a razor blade or whatever. But it evolved from the sword, okay, to a handgun, to a bigger gun, ultimately to tank and nuclear missiles, man. Okay, that's the sword. All right, verse 41. And it say, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings wherewith his father blessed him. See, it ain't say Esau hated Jacob because of his skin color. It say, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, Esau said in his mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So Esau have a perpetual hatred because of that birthright, man, because of that blessing, not because of your skin color. Okay, he is not after the Canaanites. Okay, he is not after Ham, the so-called Africans. He know who the Africans is and who Judah is. We got a certain distinctive look. How the Lord done made us, man. So this man know exactly who he's coming after. Like I say, he ain't fucking with the Africans, man. He fucking with you niggas, man. because y'all done turned your back from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and try to live after the so-called white man's ways, man. And the Lord hate that, man. The Lord hate that. That's why we are in the situation we're in now, which is captivity, man. We're behind enemy lines, and the Lord is kicking our ass through the so-called Edomites because they is his whooping stick, man. As a matter of fact, because I'm just about done with this video for real, for real. This is Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. It reads, "Arise, O Lord Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." Okay, and the scriptures state that Esau is the border of wickedness, man. Okay, it say, "Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." So the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is using these Edomites to kick our ass, man. The Lord, the Lord, he Yahweh is the King of all kings, man. He ain't finna get up off of his thrones to come see about you. Nah, he got spirits created for vengeance, man. You know, he put his spirit on these people to carry out his actions, man. That the will that he want, man. Okay. And the Lord is angry at us, man. Therefore, he's using us, you know, he using Esau, the so-called white man, to discipline us, man, as a nation, man. But like I said, his elect, they're not going to be, you know, harmed by this white man, man. This so-called Edomite. You know, some would be unalive for the truth that you know we believe in, but for the most part, the Lord is not finna let that man, you know, harm a strand of hair on our head, man. You know, but hey, it's the Lord's will, man. It's all the Lord's will. Nobody resisted his will, man. And then this lady right here in the gray, I don't know if she already said it, but she was talking about what wasn't gonna go down that night because she would have did this and did that. No, you know, the Lord done showed y'all mercy, man. The Lord done gave y'all a taste of what's about to come if y'all don't repent and come back to him, man. Because the Lord is causing all these things that's happening in the earth to happen, man. Okay. Even through the so-called white man. Okay. A civil unrest is finna come. There finna be an insurrection in the streets, man. But okay. Let me see. I want to get to Jeremiah also, because as I was stating what the Bible read, you know, that Esau is the Lord's sword, whooping stick. And you know, he created them to be that. This is Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. It reads, "Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. Therefore I will scatter them as the stubble that passes away by the wind of the wilderness. This is thy lot, the portion of thy measures from me, said the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast forgotten me and hast trusted in falsehood." Right, you niggas think you Americans, man. African Americans and shit like that, man. You know, the Lord created this so-called white man to be evil. He created him to be wicked, man. And they can't change from that. Neither can you march and protest and change him from being wicked. Okay, you are not going to be equal with this man at any time while his kingdom is up and running, man. And I want to get this right here. This is 2 Timothy, verse 3. chapter 3, verse 1, to say, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Okay, aren't we in trying times now, man? You know, people barely making ends to pay their bills, to feed their family. You got a lot of food products being recalled, a lot of food products being destroyed. Okay, we're entering into the digital age, where the money is no longer gonna be, you know, paper currency and coins. Is going to be digital, which is gonna usher in that MOTB, that mark of the beast. Okay, it's a lot of unalive events going on. It's a lot of earthquakes going on. There's a lot of chariot sightings going on, which you people call UFOs. Okay, you got volcanoes erupting over there in other countries, and they looking at Yellowstone here in this country. Okay, Yellowstone is vibrating the soil under people's feet, man, in their very backyards. Okay, we are in the last times, man. And you people still don't get it. You people still don't understand it. You people still don't see it, man. And the Lord is finna make a major move and go on here and get this over with, so that the kingdom can come. But this is Isaiah chapter 5, starting at verse 4. It read, what could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. Okay, and that vineyard is talking about the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and the descendant of those people through their fathers, man. Okay, but listen to what the Lord is saying about his people. Verse 5, it say, and now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, meaning protection, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. So the Lord is finna remove that protection that he have around 2/3 of his people, man, to allow them to be unalived and met with treacherous events, you know, situations. It say, and I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord Yahweh of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. He looked for judgment, but behold, oppression, for righteousness, but behold, a cry. Right, so when the Lord removed that hedge of protection from around his people, there will be nothing to save them. Okay, nothing. Not their money that they done saved up, not their guns, nothing. Not the food that they, you know, found or whatever. Nothing is going to be able to save them but the Lord. But the Lord is telling you this. 2/3 of his people are going to be unalive. Okay, and if you don't repent right now, before it's too late, you're most likely going to be in that number, man. All right, and this is the will of the Lord. But Lord willing, you know, I'm going to end it off there. I'm giving all glory, praise, and honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and salutation to the whole elect that scattered abroad, preaching the truth, sincerity. To you, I want to say shalom.